Hey up folks, right, first of all, I can't really moan about anybody, about the way they dress or anything else. I just dress as I want to dress, when I want to dress. I'm not the most handsome bloke in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not young, not nubile, try to be. So, how can I criticise somebody like, let me think, Boris Johnson? Well, kind of, because his whole persona is very, very, very calculated and made up. Boris tries to come across as this nice, lovely clown type person. Yet you talk to the people that have worked with him on things like Have I Got News for You, which is where he made his break and got us all to like this lovable clown. They don't think he's likeable. They don't think he's nice. They think he's very calculating. They think it's all an act. At least that's what I'm led to believe. He's not the sort of person that you can trust. He's not this lovable buffoon, this old time quintessential English gentleman that's a little bit eccentric. He's greedy, he's loathsome, he's got no compassion. Don't give a shit about you or me. Don't give a shit about anybody but Boris. If you look at the cabinet is brought in. I'm not going to go through a list of names. We just know that every single one of them is deplorable. The people that have got no humanity. But there again, neither's he. Okay? He has wanted to be Prime Minister from the very beginning. He's done everything he can to promote himself into a position that people think, oh, it's Boris. He's nice, he's a celebrity type. He's not really, is he? You and me, we don't exist to him. Well, that's not strictly true. We do exist because we're a measure of his wealth. We're the measuring stick. We're not human beings. We're not living creatures. We're not important to him. All we are is the way he measures his amount of wealth, his amount of power. Gone are the times where we even were that important that we were the people that created their wealth. We're not anymore. Most of their wealth is created through corruption, through the internet, through various other ways and means. Most of Boris's was inherited, but what wasn't inherited was through media, corruption, all sorts. So when you think that this guy is representing us on a world stage, he's deliberately dressing down, he's deliberately making himself look a clown and an oaf so that you'll like him, which seems to be working. Most of you do like him. Oh, it's only Boris, he's alright. No, he's not alright. He's violent. He's abusive. He abuses women. He abuses poor people. He racially abuses people. Sexually abuses people. Not nice. Not a nice bloke. I worked in child protection for donkey's years. And I worked all over the UK. And when I was working doing very high-end cases. And I was having to work with abusers. I was having to investigate them alongside the police. Okay? I was having to build cases for court. I was having to support kids. I was having to remove kids from these people. And the hardest bit is that the worst abusers, the ones that do the most vile things of all, are often the people that, if you saw them in the pub, you'd want to buy them a drink. You'd want to sit down and talk to them all night about it. The reason being that a lot of abusers, and I really truly believe Boris is an abuser, and I believe, like so many abusers, he's a sociopath. He believes everything that he does, everything he spouts, every lie, every action he believes is right. He's got charisma, but so do most abusers. Most abusers would make you think that you were the centre of their universe. You're not. You're just a plaything to them, a toy. And that's how Boris is. Working with these people for so long, you get to recognise these people. You get to see them. They're not the bloke stood in the corner of a pub wearing a filthy Mac reading a copy of the Star or the Sport. They tend to keep themselves to themselves. I'm not saying that, opportunity arose. But when we're talking about sexual and physical abuse, it's about power. It's not about sex. It's not about attraction. It's about power, in the same way that domestic violence is about power. Oh, did we have a thing a few weeks ago where Boris was seen to have been in a very, very animated argument with his partner, ex-partner? I can't remember which one. Again, I don't think they remember which one. It's all power play. And because he does not see anything wrong in any of his actions, he has no empathy, no humanity, no conscience. That makes him so dangerous. That makes him somebody that people love. They look at him and they go, oh yeah, it's lovable Boris. Oh, isn't he such a nice bloke? His name's not really even Mr. Johnson, is it? We know that. The media make it look at times like they're giving him a hard time, but not really. In reality, they give him a free pass. In reality, he's got more contacts in the media than any other Prime Minister ever has had. He wrote for The Spectator, he's written for various tabloid crap. He's absolutely in bed with the people that own these newspapers. He's protected. Half the things that probably have gone on in Boris's life we'll never hear about. We'll never know. Little snippets, that's what we get. Most people, if they've got an issue with him, they're either threatened off or bought off. And that's the way of his world. So don't be taken in by him. People are saying we shouldn't have personal attacks on him. Why not? Shouldn't we have had personal attacks on Hitler and his appearance, his horrific attitudes to things? Boris is no better. He may not even be as culpable, as in like media culpable. He certainly is guilty, but he'll never be held to account for that guilt. And especially while you're all sitting there thinking, oh, he's a great guy, he is. I'd like him as my mate. Would you? I wouldn't. So anyway, this is my opinion. It's up to you, you have your own. I'm just a lonely bloke. Lonely? Yeah, a bit. Lowly bloke. Living in a little council house in my scruffy garden. That's designer scruffy because I like bees and birds and things like that. And my opinion probably don't matter to everybody. But I see my faults. He don't see his. But we've got to live by them. Anyway, take care, dudes. Sorry if it's been a bit long-winded. I've not really said a lot, but you get the gist. Take care. Oh God, look at that double chin. Never mind. Take care, bye.